Hi, my name is Brittany Stay, and today I will be defending my capstone proposal on the topic of regenerative agriculture for ecosystem service enhancement and sustainability. The following are the research questions for the intended study. What ecosystem services can be provided through regenerative agriculture adoption? How will these ecosystem services be reliably measured and verified? And can regenerative agriculture consistently deliver these ecosystem services without negative socioeconomic impacts? The answers to these three research questions will help to increase the understanding of potential ecosystem services that can be derived from regenerative agriculture. This knowledge will help to prevent overtaxing of ecosystems through developing sustainable usage. Currently, humans rely heavily on ecosystems for products such as nutritious food and clean drinking water, and often these ecosystem services have environmental trade-offs such as land degradation, pollution, and climate change. Assessing regenerative agriculture in terms of a sustainable ecosystem service framework will determine whether adoption can support environmental sustainability instead of continuing with current conventional agriculture systems that degrade land, erode soils, emit greenhouse gases, pollute air and water bodies, and lead to deforestation. Researching sustainable agriculture approaches will then help the sector to align with the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and increase the overall sustainability of global food systems. Ensuring that these ecosystem services derived from regenerative agriculture can be measured and verified will help to strengthen the evidence of any correlation between regenerative agriculture application and listed outcomes. With the addition of a socioeconomic lens, the intended study will analyze if regenerative agriculture can be implemented without negatively impacting food security, farmer profitability, or local economies. The thesis statement for the intended study is, the implementation of regenerative agriculture will deliver a variety of ecosystem services to continue providing for human development while enhancing the sustainability of global agricultural systems. The implementation of regenerative agriculture for ecosystem services will not be at the detriment to farmer profitability, local socioeconomics, or global sustainability goals. Current technologies will allow for the measurement and verifiability of ecosystem services of regenerative agriculture. Some background on the field of regenerative agriculture. So regenerative agriculture has many concepts derived from traditional ecological knowledge, which is also known as indigenous knowledge or native science. While practices associated with regenerative agriculture have been used for centuries by indigenous peoples, the term regenerative agriculture gained popularity in Western cultures in the 1980s with the 1983 publication of Robert Rodell's paper entitled Breaking New Ground, The Search for Sustainable Agriculture. And while the term regenerative agriculture has been used for almost 50 years, there is still a lack of a universally agreed upon definition. Academic literature and practitioners of regenerative agriculture often categorize it by either its associated practices and/or goals. In a systematic review, Schriefel et al. Found that the most commonly associated objectives included enhancing and improving soil health, improving biodiversity, regenerating the system, optimizing resource management, improving human health, and increasing economic prosperity. They found that the most common associated activities all focused on soil health and included practices such as minimizing external inputs, use of mixed farming, lowering tillage, crop rotation, and use of perennials. For the purposes of the intended study, only regenerative agricultural associations with activities or practices will be included to allow for the evaluation of outcomes from adoption. A study by Newton et al. References common alternative terms to regenerative agriculture, which included agroecological farming, sustainable agriculture, organic farming, conservation agriculture, and biodynamic farming. For the purpose of the intended study, only associations with the term regenerative agriculture will be included. In current literature, many of the established benefits of regenerative agriculture focus on soil, water, and climate. Some of these benefits include erosion control, soil formation, enhanced nutrient cycling, improved water conservation and quality, and soil carbon sequestration. Other less referenced benefits include social and cultural benefits, such as a higher level of connection to the land and establishment of traditional knowledge bodies. It also includes wildlife benefits, such as improved pollinator habitat, and others such as disease resistance and improved pest control. The intended study will be a systematic review of scientific literature using mixed methods. Qualitative and quantitative data will be retrieved from the American Public University System Library using the search summons and the search term regenerative agriculture with the filter of peer-reviewed articles published from 2012 to 2022. Ecosystem services for the intended study will be limited to those listed on the United Nations Ecosystem Millennium Assessment website in their 2003 report entitled Ecosystems and Human Well-Being, a Framework for Assessment. A systematic review of recent peer-reviewed literature will be performed using the preferred reporting items for systematic reviews and meta-analyses, or the PRISMA method. This will help to determine the correlation of regenerative agriculture adoption to ecosystem service enhancement. A search performed in July 2022 generated 423 results. These results will then be narrowed down using qualifiers to create a relevant pool of peer-reviewed articles that reference one or more ecosystem services that are provided for through regenerative agriculture implementation. These filtered articles will be used to answer the first research question: what ecosystem services can be provided through regenerative agriculture adoption? After review, the ecosystem services found to be provided through regenerative agriculture will then be displayed in a table. The first column will include the ecosystem services grouped into the 4 categories of ecosystem services, which are provisioning, regulating, supporting, and cultural, and these are listed by the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment. The second column will provide the citation or citations that support the claims of a positive correlation between regenerative agriculture and the specific ecosystem service. This table will help to summarize the ecosystem service benefits and the frequency at which they are cited in the literature. Using the same pool of articles, quantitative and qualitative data will then be used to analyze the association of regenerative agriculture adoption with farmer profitability and other socioeconomic factors to answer the research question: can regenerative agriculture consistently deliver these ecosystem services without negative socioeconomic impacts? Qualitative data will then also be extracted to understand current methodologies and systems used for measuring potential ecosystem service enhancement through regenerative agriculture adoption. This will answer the research question: how will these ecosystem services be reliably measured and verified? Answers to the proposed research questions are important for understanding the total sustainable ecosystem service benefits from regenerative agriculture adoption and the socioeconomic practicality of its implementation. Current literature does not evaluate regenerative agriculture in terms of the complete ecosystem services list as presented by the Millennium Ecosystem Service Assessment. Analysis from this intended study will provide policymakers, farmers, land managers, and other agricultural stakeholders understanding into the potential for regenerative agriculture to increase the sustainability and ecosystem services of agriculture. It will also add the additionality of positive socioeconomic impacts and measurability. This research is important for recognizing whether regenerative agriculture could lead to a global model for sustainable farming systems that will reverse land degradation and other anthropogenic environmental impacts from conventional agriculture and work to improve the possibility of intergenerational sustainability of farmland. The following are the sources that were consulted for this presentation.